Now, I do not have anything in my mind. So, is there any one of you who would like to propose something? Yes.
She wants to know the details about that.
See?
So she read that window.
But I'm not able to see. Or whether it is possible to see them. Yes. Oh. Right. Exactly how I still do not know, because I have not learned the art of seeing hungry ghosts. And but I have heard of people who have seen such hungry ghosts. And you must ask Chief Reverend next time. I think some of you might have heard of Chief Reverend's story about how he saw a hungry ghost. Did you?
No.
I've never heard that one. Oh. Well, at that time he was a young monk, I think, in Sri Lanka. And in Sri Lanka, there is the tradition offering alms food to the monks. And on one occasion, he was invited to a big dana, and people brought all kinds of food to offer to an assembly of monks. And after the monks have partaken of the food, when there was lots of food left over. Now in Sri Lanka, the tradition is such that if the people have made a determination to offer the food to the monks, to the Sangha, after that, they don't eat the food. Do you know that? Chinese traditions are different. Here, after we eat, people rush for the food because they say this is meritorious. Now, I personally believe that it a lot depends on whether you should eat or whether you should not eat the leftovers will depend upon the minds of the members of the Sangha. If in their minds they do not want to give you the food, the leftover, then you should not take it. But if in their minds they have made certain determination that they would like to give some food, to leave some food for the others, then it is okay for you to take. In fact, in certain places, the monks, after collecting the food, will determine that whosoever with a pure heart takes the food, may that person be free from all sickness, may they develop energy, have the energy to develop their wisdom and compassion. So those food actually becomes medicine for those who take with a pure heart, take with good mind. So the tradition differs from place to place. You have to see where you are, and if the monk says, okay, go ahead, then go ahead, Peta. Because during the time of the Buddha, there were certain occasions when some food was offered to him, and when he realized the nature of the food which has been contaminated mainly by the impurity of the minds of the giver. And when he realized that the food was not fit to be eaten by him, and not only by him, he also says that this food should not be given to others. There were quite a few occasions. So, what happened actually during that big dana Chifravan attended? After the monks have eaten, there was so much left over. So normally, the devotees will not eat, but there are some beggars, and there are some other hungry people who will come. And Chifravan had seen it. I heard him reporting, telling this story. He had seen how one man who, after collected the food, big plate, and then started eating. And he was eating so quickly that before the others could finish the plate, he has already finished 2-3 plates of rice. And he still went on eating. So Chifravan has observed how this man was eating such a great amount of food. And then after that is how his attention he was attracted. And so he kept on observing this man. Then, after eating, Chifravan saw how this man drank water. He went to the nearby well and took by the bucketful. How many glasses of water can you drink? How many glasses? Can you drink 6 glasses at a time? No. But it seems he has taken a few bucketful of water. Yes. And this story Chifravan relates his own experience that he had seen. And in conjunction with the hungry ghost. So, sometimes you may have this opportunity to see the hungry ghost. don't have to wait until they become ghosts. Sometimes in the human form, the ghost already manifests in the human form, and you find the greed is so strong that nothing can satisfy his desire. And not only that, as he eats, the fire of craving is so much, the heat is so strong that it burns up the food so quickly. So that probably explains how he can take that much. The moment it gets in, it gets burned up. The food gets burned up, so he can take some more. Similarly, how he drank that water. So there are some people who eat so much. And so you can ask the Reverend how he developed to see such beings. It's so one. And I have also come across certain situations whereby I have heard of how some people, while I was in Sri Lanka, and these were people who have spent their lives, they have become sort of professional seers, looking around for the hungry ghosts, where the hungry ghosts are. And they do it in a pot, with a pot of water, and by reciting certain things, then they look and see. And they are able to spot certain places where hungry ghosts resides. How some beings reside in certain corners, certain places, hearts. Yes, talking about hungry ghosts. Last night, yesterday, in the evening, before the talk I had in Johor Bahru, somebody told me of a story, how one boy got into a trance, and then he started to speak, started to talk about, he started to ask for various things, and he started to speak about his former life. And then he told those people that they are very fortunate to have the opportunity to listen to Dhamma. He said, for quite a long time, he has been wanting to listen to Dhamma, but he was not able to come in, like all of them, to the hall and sit down to listen. He was all the time, wherever there was Dhamma talk, he was listening, but he was outside the door, outside the hall. He was listening there, he said. And this was what I heard recently. So there are some beings who are less fortunate, have strong cravings. So she still asks for this and asks for that. No? Such beings are called the hungry ghosts. We lump them together, we put them together in one category, but actually there are different levels, there are different kinds of such unfortunate beings. Those who have strong cravings. Now, in order to see these beings, there is a way. What I have heard is there are people who practice, develop their concentration. And after they have developed their concentration, they turn their attention towards seeing, towards looking at. They think of different beings. Some use their mind to recall, to think of the devas. And by thinking celestial beings, righteous beings in their mind, then the celestial beings appear in their mind. Then they begin to see different celestial beings. When their minds are concentrated, this you can develop when you have attained to that samadhi, full absorption, and attain to the jhanas, up to the fourth jhana. And then you develop that ability to see things not through your physical eye, but through the eye, through your mind's eye. Hence, this is how people develop clairvoyance or the divine eye. They have the ability to see things which the ordinary eye, physical eye, cannot see. So those people who develop in this line, they can. There are other ways by which it depends on whatever knowledge, whatever powers that these people want to develop. Those who want to develop their ability to know others' thoughts, then they get into concentration, and then they think, they have the thought, what is that person thinking? And they focus their attention there. And then they get the thoughts. They're able to read the thoughts. This is how. No? This is how they train their minds. Well, if you want to train your mind, you can go and train. But remember, why do you want to see all these Petas? Why do you want to see all these hungry ghosts? For what? You can see these hungry ghosts. You don't have to go very far away. You don't have to spend so much energy. You can see the hungry ghosts inside you. See how the hungry ghosts manifest in you. Whenever the strong desire comes, you can see the fire of lust, the fire of your desire, craving, and hatred. When you have strong when you are very angry. Look at yourself. Take the mirror and see. And this is how you can train to see the real hungry ghost inside you. Then you can see the nature, watch the nature of greed, watch the nature of hatred, anger, how that manifests. Your mind conditions, immediately your mind conditions your body, and then you see the hungry ghost behind it, right within you. Don't have to go very far to learn about that one. So what is more important, to know what is outside or what is inside? Because if you have not developed the dangers about developing all those psychic powers, it is not wrong to develop them, but there are dangers for those who try to develop them without having a strong foundation, without having a strong foundation of mindfulness. Then sometimes when they see different things which the ordinary people cannot see, which the ordinary eyes cannot see, which the ordinary ears cannot hear, then when they begin to cling to such things, they cling to such powers, they think they are somebody. By clinging to such things, they are caught up in another realm of clinging, and still they will meet with all kinds of problems. Their minds cannot be free from attachments. They become attached to those kinds of powers. And if the minds are not properly developed, if there are no strong virtues or perfections which they have not cultivated in their past, then what happens? They begin to see all the unpleasantness without seeing the good side of life. Then unbalanced, the mind can become unbalanced. Just like those who want to recall their past lives. Many people today are mad whenever they hear about rebirths, they also want to recall their past births. And they pay a lot of money to do this. Now, for what? Why do you want to recall your past birth? Just to recall what you have done yesterday, day before yesterday, and last year is enough headache. Not only enough headache, can bring about enough remorse for you. When you think what you have done this morning, throughout the day, how you have treated your parents, other members of your family, your colleagues in the office, and the people that have come into contact with you. how you have bluffed them into believing what you want them to believe, how you lied to them, how you have spoken harsh words towards them. This is enough to bring remorse if you do not know how to balance your mind. What more if you were to dig out of verse after verse, life after life. Go on digging, you will see all the bad things that you have done. And then you cannot control your mind. You become very remorseful. However, for those who have got firm foundation, for those who have been avoiding evil and doing good and purifying their minds, when their minds become purified, then naturally this power can come to them, the ability to see the past, but they will not be affected by that because they see the good, they see more goodness, there is more happiness. Whenever they see the bad, they can also see a lot of good things that they have done. So their minds are balanced. And not only that, those whose minds are trained to cut off, to be detached, not to have so strong clingings. But those who have not trained their minds in giving up, then they will cling to what they see, they cling to what they hear, they cling to what they think. This clinging is very dangerous. Now, still, in your minds, when you listen to Dhamma now, your minds may be free, but sometimes again those thoughts, what had happened at your office, what had happened at home, what had happened in school, they come back again to your mind. And some unpleasant thoughts, you cling to it. And how long it takes for you to give up that kind of thoughts. That is why this is what we have to learn first. If we want to develop our other powers, and if we want really to develop powers of the mind, in order that we will be able to help more people, because this is for those who want to help more people, then they think of developing their skills. But before they develop those things, they have to train their minds how to cut off from undesirable, unwholesome thoughts. You see? Then they can free their minds very quickly. Otherwise, by clinging to thoughts, by clinging to what they see, what they hear, it goes on and this disturbs their mind. This is why how people become worried. They worry themselves. They cannot sleep in the night because when they try to sleep, those thoughts arise in their minds. Certain thoughts, certain strong thoughts arise in their mind. And again they think, why that person, speak to me in this manner? How I have not done wrong? Why he accused me of that? Why did he blame me of these things? Why that person cheated me? And then you go on and think like this. The mind is not freed from that. And see how much suffering arises. It thoughts and this way, that way, this way, that way. And then you have remorse in the mind. Why I should not have said these things. I should not have said that thing. So the first thing to learn, before you ever think of developing your psychic powers to see hungry ghosts or to see devas, first thing is to try to confront with the hungry ghosts inside and the devas inside. There are good devas too inside, divine beings, and wherever you have those good thoughts, you want to help others, you want to give, you want to share with others, you have your thoughts of loving kindness and compassion. When you see others happy, you become happy. When you see others doing good things, you become happy. You rejoice in their goodness, in their virtues. These are sublime qualities. When you develop these things, and you can see these are the Deva-like qualities. They are called, in fact, sublime abodes. Metta, Karuna, Mudita. These are the four sublime abodes. They actually lead you. They lead you to be born in such planes of existence. If you do not take the trouble to direct your concentration towards seeing the realities, the nature of life, you just develop that good, those virtues of metta, karuna, mudita. You can develop your concentration up to a certain level that can lead you to take birth in the Brahma realm, in the realm that transcends the sensual, transcends sensual pleasures. There are the lower Devalokas who are still, the lower celestial beings that are still attached to senses, sensual sense gratification. But the higher beings in the Brahma realms, they transcend sense desires. So there are different kinds of beings in this world. So this is where it is also good to try to first of all understand the different kinds of human beings rather than to see all the different kinds of ghosts and devas. Now, do you know about human beings first? Are you able to see and recognize good human beings? Have you trained your mind to see good people and bad people? Human beings first. So first try to train your mind and observe who are the good people and who are the bad people. Now, if you want to train your minds, you can take the Dhamma, the Buddhas, how the Buddha has classified human beings. How many kinds of human beings are there in this world? Can you classify them? The Buddha has grouped them into four. What are the four kinds of human beings? One kind, he says, there is one kind of human being that lives in this world in darkness. And they live from darkness to darkness. Another kind of being, they are living in the dark, but they live from darkness to light. Another being, another group of beings, they are born in light, in brightness, and they live from light to darkness. They go from light to darkness. Another group of beings, human beings, they are born in light, in brightness, and they go from light to light. Can you recognize these four kinds of beings? Those beings that go from darkness to darkness. Some people go from darkness to light. Others go from light to darkness. And some go from light to light. Which group do you belong to? Or which group do you want to belong to? From light to? Very good. Well, it seems all of you who are here can be classified not in the first two, but in the second two. Either you go, not from light to darkness. Your love for Dhamma will not lead you down. Either from light to light or from darkness to light. That's right. So you belong to these two groups. Now what do we mean by darkness to darkness? Darkness means ignorance. Right? They are born with ignorance. And ignorance being the cause, the root that conditions their birth, their minds are deluded. As a result of which, do you know how you are born in this world? There are these roots. What are the evil roots? Greed, hatred, and delusion. What are the good roots? Liberality, loving kindness, and wisdom. Those people who are born with good roots. Now, how we are born in this world, our birth has been conditioned by these roots. Some are born in this world with three good roots. What are the three? Liberality, loving kindness, and wisdom. And those who are born with these three roots, if their life has been conditioned by these three roots, then in this life we say they are born in brightness because they have the ability, they like to give, their minds. They are loving people. They will be beloved by others because they have practiced loving kindness. Not only that, they can understand things. They can develop their wisdom here in this lifetime. When they are born with these three roots, very fortunate beings. But some beings are not so fortunate in this world. They are born with two roots. The roots of liberality and the roots of loving kindness. Such beings, they like to do charity. Not only that, they like to do good things. And they are loving by nature. They are very kind-hearted. But when it comes to wisdom, they cannot grasp. They cannot understand the more profound realities of life. They are just good by nature. But because that root is not there, they find it difficult to develop, to attain to the highest wisdom within this lifetime. But it does not mean that they cannot develop. When they do more and more good actions, they keep on associating with good people, wise people, and then they listen, but very difficult for them to understand. But they can pick up little by little. But the very fact that they have that strong desire to know, strong desire to learn, strong desire to attain to wisdom, that will condition their next birth. And the next birth, these three roots condition the next birth. Some have only one root in this, they are born. And some without good roots, they are born in miserable states. Those who are born as human beings without good roots, they are born sometimes handicapped, crippled, retarded, in different forms. Now such beings are born in darkness. But those who are born in darkness, they are born in miserable conditions as human beings. They do not have even the basic requirements of life. But still, they do not like Dhamma. They do not like to listen to good things. They don't like to associate with good people. And they will blame those people doing good. In other words, they cannot recognize good things. And they don't like to do that. These are the beings that go from darkness to darkness. But there are beings who are born in less fortunate states of existence. They are born poor. But they realize, because they are born in such conditions, and then they begin to think why. And after hearing, after reading something about karma, the law of cause and effect, they begin to develop their confidence in that. Then they want to do good. They know the present state of existence. They have come into being in such unpleasant, such unfortunate state of existence because of their past actions. So now in this life they strive, they do good, more good actions. Such beings are those, though born in darkness, but they go to light. They go from darkness to light. Others who are born due to the past goodness, the virtues, the merits, they are born in wealthy families. They are born with all the necessities of life and more, in comfort and luxuries. But they do not like the Dhamma. They don't like to listen to good things. They don't like to give, to share what they have with others. They cannot see people doing good things. They harbor envy, jealousy, hatred in their minds. These being goes, they are born in light, in brightness, but they go to darkness, from light to darkness. But there are also beings, and there are not so many, who are born in very good situation, and they appreciate the Dhamma, they appreciate goodness, they continue to do good in this life. Such beings go from light to light, from light to light. It is actually when we become aware of our lives, the conditions by which we are born, by which we are supported, and you will realize actually how fortunate you are to be born firstly as human beings. Don't be so attached to hungry ghosts and devas. Human beings are very lucky. Buddha says, you find in the Dhammapada, rare is the birth of a human. Do you think so? But why is there so many human beings? So what is so rare about it? Look around, population exploding everywhere. So what is so rare about being a human being? But are you able to see the other side? Are you able to see the other side? Don't have to go very far. Look around the window sills. You will find what? Insects, spiders. How many of them? Oh, many of them. See the crows flying, the birds, insects, mosquitoes, plenty of them. Then you can understand how many living beings there are in this world. And out of these beings, out of these beings, how many are human beings? Then you can, when you compare yourself with other beings, the fishes in the sea, in the streams, the cockroaches in the septic system, the rats, how many beings? And then you ask one question: how is it, why is it so fortunate to be born as human beings? You see, to be born as those unfortunate beings, these animals, take for example those insects like mosquitoes. You think they are fortunate? Every time people see them, people want to crush them. Do you like them? Do you keep mosquitoes? Or else, some people keep them. They breed them, but to feed their fishes. See how fortunate you are? People don't want to crunch you when they see you. Then, other beings, see the worms? People want to go to fish, they go and dig the worms and put, and then go fishing. They are the target of such things. Otherwise you think, how nice I'll be like butterflies, fly free in the air. And there you find people going about with net, catching you, and then putting injection, and then keep you in the, for exhibition purposes. How do you like that one? See, all these beings, they are tormented. The nature of their existence is such. Yes. They are being hated. They are being bullied by other beings. Because karmically they attract such things. So to be born as human beings, you are fortunate because you have the ability, we have the ability to develop our virtues. We have the ability to purify our minds more than any other beings in this world. More than even the devas. Those who are born in the celestial realms, the devas, they are born, they are very fortunate because in those realms of existence, the higher deva realms, they don't have to be born to small ones and they don't have to study for the examinations. They are born just like that, spontaneous birth. They defy the biological laws. They are just born, they appear in such beings. And sometimes, no parents. So no need for mother to grumble and nag at them and to control them. See how free they are. when you know how free some of these devas are, then you may also want to be born as devas. And food, they don't have to depend on the kind of food that we depend on. Their food is of finer nature. Sometimes they rejoice seeing others doing good actions, and that is their food. See how nice. No need to eat. All those things. Every time. Don't have to work. Because of the food that you have to consume, you have to work. Why do you work so hard? Because you have to maintain the body. Oh yes. So when you think this way, those devas are free from that. But how would you like to be born in such beautiful realms of existence and everybody happy there? So what is the opportunity for you to do good? When you don't see suffering beings, then there is, how do you develop your compassion? This is where. When you see others, people happy, then you don't think. That is why many people, when they live within their own family circles, they have not gone outside to see how other people live. They do not really appreciate how fortunate they are, how happy they are. Still they are not satisfied. But when they go outside, they go and visit the homes, they visit handicapped places, and they go and see the refugee camps. Then they begin to realize there are beings that are unfortunate beings. There are suffering beings. When you begin to see these suffering beings, then your heart begin to grow. You begin to have pity and sympathy for them. This is how you have opportunity to do good. So one should take the opportunity to do good. When you see all are happy, then, there is no chance for you to do good. So those in the Deva realms do not have that ability to do so much good. And not only that, how do you like to be enjoying with all the things there, and one day you have to fall down. One day you have to disappear from that realm of existence to take birth in another realm. And this is the greatest pang of suffering which the devas, which the beings in celestial realms have to experience. The greatest pangs of suffering is the pang of death, because they are also subject to death. They have also to, after they have finished the meritorious actions they have done, then they have to take birth in another realm of existence. And that moment, very painful moment for them, because they have to be detached. They have to give up all the pleasures and all the comforts they enjoy in such realms of existence. That is why Those who recognize this. How do you recognize this? Because it is possible. Those who recall, when they begin to recall, develop their minds and recall their lives, that they were born in such a realms, then they begin to see the unsatisfactoriness of such existence. And so they want to go beyond that state of existence. So the human realm, by far, it's a very good realm of existence. And looking at this human realm, how many people are born as human beings with all the senses, with all the senses functioning? What are your senses? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind. How many have all these 6 senses functioning? I think all of you have. A matter of degree. A matter of degree. But you see how some are born without these senses functioning. Some are blind, some are deaf, some are deaf and dumb. Some, their body cannot function properly. Some, their tongue cannot function properly. So when you consider this, see how fortunate you have all these 6 senses. But of those who are born with these 6 senses, 6 bases, they are fully equipped with it, healthy. How many of them make use of these senses? And how many abuse them? How many people abuse their eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind? They keep on abusing it every day, and how many of you use it properly? See, and of those who use their senses, how many can realize the truth? How many want to use their senses to realize the truth and experience the higher bliss, the higher happiness? Not many. Of those who want to make use of these senses, how many are able to realize? Still few and far between. So you can consider in these different levels, and then you see where you are. So now you know where you are. What level? You have all the necessary requirements of life. You are. For you to develop your goodness. But it is important to understand how to maintain this good life. In order to live in this world, there are 4 things that are important. What are these 4 things? First one. What do you think of when you get up early in the morning? What do you first think of when you get up early in the morning? Food. What to eat? Food is important, right? In order to live in this world. Second one. Food. You think of what to wear. Because you are going to office, so you think what to wear. First you think what to eat, what to wear. Of course some people think of what to wear first, and then what to eat. And then Where to go? Where to go? Shelter. They want to go to nice, cool places, aircon rooms. Not to stuffy places. So you want, these things are important in order to live. And not only that, sometimes you need medicine. To kill the pain, to overcome certain sickness. So these 4 things are necessary to prolong life. Please remember these 4 things. What are they? First one, food. Second one, clothing. Third, shelter. Fourth, medicine. Now, in order to maintain good life, in order to maintain a good life, in order to continue your life with comfort, in comfort, and luxuries. These 4 things are important, right? In order to receive these 4 things, in order to grow, in order to deserve these 4 things, what must you do? According to the law of cause and effect. What have you learned? What you give, you receive. So, today, can you think, what have you given in terms of food? Have you given some food to some people? You can ask yourself, right? How much food have you given to others? How much you have shared food to others? If not to human beings, at least to animals, have you given some food to them? If you have not given them at least the thought of giving them, please think, right? This is how you can develop. Because whatever food you give, then you give, you receive. Then clothes. Have you given? When was the last time you gave people some clothes? To make them happy? Then shelter. Have you given others shelter? Who do you shelter? Some of you give shelter to your members of the family. Some are looking after their parents. Supporting their parents. Yes, you are giving shelter. Giving shelter to parents, to children. Very good. What about your relatives? Strangers. Giving hospitality to others. When people are in need. These are how you provide shelter to them. Those who donate towards monasteries, building shelter for the monks. This is how you provide shelter for others. Then medicine, giving medicine to others. These 4 things. When you give these things, so not only to concentrate on one thing only, giving food only. Some people like to give only food. That's why they have a lot of food with them. Cannot eat finish, but not enough clothing. Those who have given, they receive. You know, some young children, they are born. They are born with those goodness. Yeah. You can see how little ones, some of them, they are just loved by their other relatives. And wherever the relatives go, they buy for them something. They buy. Some children receive a lot of clothes. Some receive very few clothes. Some people somehow don't like that one, don't want to buy for that one. Or they buy for that one but cannot use, wrong size, have to give to others. You see? Because just don't have that kind of love to wear. Because these things, don't look down on these clothes, because it is the clothes that have given you happiness. And it is still giving many of you happiness. Imagine if you don't have the right clothes to wear. Will you be happy? Of course, there are some of you here who have learned to live with the simple clothing, and it does not bother you so much. But still, many people are being bothered. That is their happiness. They derive their happiness. They smile because they have good clothes. And they feel very good. See how they walk with the good clothes. And when they wear some, not so good clothes, oh, they feel so miserable. They look around, people are looking at them, they think, Do you feel that way? Very few people have learned how to overcome this. And they don't worry about that. They know the purpose of wearing clothes. These are for those beings, for those people who are seeking for some higher values of life. They do not place so much value on decorating the body. But still some still depend on this for their happiness. So you go on. That is why it is important. Now what you give, you receive. But some, you may see them wearing very simple clothes and you think that they are very satisfied. No, they are not satisfied. They look with green eyes when they see somebody coming, every day and these things. They envy them, but because they cannot afford, they cannot give them. But those who have really given, they renounce with understanding. They don't envy. I don't envy you. You come every day with different clothes. I don't envy you. But I still training my mind to be contented. Always. 1, 2. That's all. This is how we train our minds to be contented with the very basic requirements. If you want to train the mind, you say practicing Dhamma. You don't have to go very far to think, how can I practice Dhamma? With the basic things that you wear, be mindful of what you wear. Why, the purpose why you are using your clothes. And cut off the excessive cravings and desires for that, so that you are not affected by that. You have contentment. Food. No need to eat all those food, those go by the class and all the brand and this and that. Today people eat because of the brand, because advertise this, here this advertisement, this advertisement. So they eat to maintain their status. They have to go to certain place to eat. Because that's where, in order to meet the people, that's why we must eat like that. How much do you have to pay? Some people pay. I have come across, see, once when I went out with my relatives and we were invited to eat when I was from Malacca and came to Kuala Lumpur, go to restaurant and eat all kinds of things. And when it come to payment, we heard that he paid, few $100 for that. Oh, you see, that was very big. Not until later I learned how it can go up to few $1,000s. One table. And that one shark's fin that they enjoy, it can come up to hundreds of dollars. One bowl, one small bowl. This is what we call indulging that. And when we think of that, that money can be used for so many things. That is why in certain places, now I know there is one in Japan, there is a youth group, and they want to do activities. They do not know how to raise funds. So they promote this campaign they call Save a Meal campaign. That means instead of eating how many times a day, you have 3 meals a day. Good enough, right? But normally people have 5 meals a day. So it can cut off one. Never mind, you can have 4 meals. When you cut off 1 meal, that 1 meal, you can save that one and raise that one as funds for some worthwhile activities. So you can have that kind of campaign also. But be sincere that you save that one. You don't save that one and then buy another one tomorrow for 6 months. Can keep Save a Meal campaign. Then you can help the poor. So far, we do not think how many people are suffering in this world. You ask yourself and say, where are we to give? Who wants our clothes? Who wants? Who to give? Don't have very far to go. There are various organizations that are set up. Today, how many people are in need of food? How many people are in need of clothing? How many people are in need of shelter? How many people are in need of medicine? So, when you learn how to give this, if you cannot give all these 4 things one day, every day to give a little bit of them, then at least give them once a week, once a month, or at least once a year. See, not forced giving. Some people are forced to give. Every month their salary they are taken out. This one for this food, for charity, this one for building fund, this one for this one for that. So when you give with your free mind, you will see Thinking in this manner, become aware of these things, then these are the things that will lead you. Those who like to continue enjoy this world, you can enjoy a bit longer. With all the basic requisites of life. When you are born, you will have the basic requisites and more. That is why, when you are born, your parents go and see the astrologer, and then astrologer says, this child have come with how many sacks of rice? Got enough? How many sacks of rice did you come with? Some people not back how many catties of rice. Some people brought only a few tiles. And then some came with a few bags of gold. Some came like this. And then they can predict that this person, don't worry, he will not die of hunger. Wherever he goes, he will find food. Because of what he has given in the past. Wherever he goes, you find food. But food alone is not sufficient to maintain your happiness, no? Right? So, must learn how to give clothing. Learn how to give shelter. Learn how to give medicine. These 4 things. Of course, you want some more comforts. You want to travel fast. Then you must learn how to give what? Transport. Yes. That is how certain deva have been asked this question. One deva has said how he was able to move from place to place fast, very quickly. Because, he said, he recalls, he said, in his past, he has transported people from place to place. And so, his means of transport, very quickly he can just fly here and there, wherever he wants to go to. Some devas cannot go very fast. Also depend on the karma, what they have done in the past. So whatever comforts that you want, that's that. And if you want to maintain that for a longer period of time, learn how to give, learn how to share that with others. Then you can maintain that. But after you have maintained for some time, then you look back and see whether all these things through which you have derived your happiness, whether you are satisfied with them or not. If you are not satisfied with them, then you begin to think of something higher, some higher values of life. Because the moment you realize that all the happiness that you are counting on, people are happy. What is it that makes them happy? Because when they are able to feed their desires, their craving, then they are happy. Whenever you desire, you want something and you can get it, you are happy. But if you want those things and you cannot get it, then you are not happy. So you see the nature of happiness, worldly happiness. Worldly happiness actually is nothing but the feeding of our craving. Our desires, we keep on feeding. That's why it becomes stronger and stronger. That is why the craving becomes stronger and stronger. That is how, because you say happy. I am happy. What is the meaning of I am happy? I am happy because what I want I get. So when you start feeling that, it becomes stronger. So he wants something more. That wanting, that desire become bigger and bigger, stronger and stronger. So now he wants not only this house, he wants a mansion. No? Bigger and bigger. See how the desires become stronger and stronger. And then, when you begin to observe this, develop this, and you realize, one day you will realize that it is not possible to continue feeding these desires. Then you try to maintain develop. That is why there is a difference between the happiness and contentment. To be contented with what you have. Contentment does not mean laziness. Does not mean to say, oh, tidak apa attitude. No, work hard. Have all the things that you need. But there is a limit to what you need. You yourself only can fix the limit through your sincerity. We cannot fix what you really need, because according to your situation, circumstances, your needs differ from others. But when you begin to be sincere, you reduce your needs. And when you start reducing your needs, you have plenty to give. You have plenty to give. The more you give, the more you will receive. The more you receive, the more you give. And give. Until you have nothing more to give. Right? No more what? No more material things to give. When you have no more material things to give, then still your mind is in the habit of thinking of giving. So give what? Give up greed. Give up hatred. Give up ignorance. So now I think, you see, I have actually had the opportunity to associate with a few very good friends, and I have seen this monk, how he gives, really. Living with him, I learn. But with great difficulties, I see how easily he gives his things up. Whatever he receives, he just gives up. So I collect from him. I used to collect from him. He gives me one, I says, no, please give me 4. But then when I see his nature is like that, then become very remorseful, to keep. Okay, I receive from him and I give to others. Oh, become very happy to give to others. I give to others. So now I begin to think more seriously. What can I give to others? So sometimes there is no opportunity to give. Then quietly I think, now I must learn how to give up other things. If there are no material things to give up, then give up greed, give up craving, give up hatred, give up ignorance. The way to give up this is to confront them, to learn how to confront them. When there is the desire, when there is the desire, the strong desire to want something, then purposely you say, sorry, no, I will give up this one. You challenge this. Oh, terrible. Then you see the real ghost coming up. This defilement, how does defilement play? Because the next moment the thought comes up, little bit only, you don't have to take so much, just a little bit, enjoy yourself, little bit will do. Then see how you are induced, little bit. And then you say, if you are still aware of it, you say, no, sorry, not this little too. Then begin to threaten you. If you don't eat that one, that is actually very good, a lot of vitamins, and if you lack that vitamin, your skin become dry, and this and that, That one is also good. That's also another vitamin, And you still don't want to give in to it. Then another thought come up and says, you don't eat like this, you will die. You become sick. You cannot practice. And then you think, oh yeah, oh now begin to eat. And then as soon as you begin to take, and then the desire now, very happy already now you build up that one. It says, a bit more, never mind, this one is good, that one is good, this is good. Oh, then you begin to feel, now you are happy, the desire, very happy already, okay. Have you seen these things, how it works? Oh, this defilement has its way of working. That is why we speak of Mara. Mara? Not that Mara Institute, but this Mara inside. There is another kind of Mara. You see? This is the Mara. When you observe these things, Mara is actually, we use, in many books they call it evil one. But actually, it is the challenger. I will call that the challenger. Every time you want to do good, there is something to challenge you. Otherwise, you won't do good. You won't progress. Therefore, try to see how Mara works. Try to understand the nature of Mara. And then confront Mara. And slowly defeat them. Then you be the master. The Buddha has overcome all Maras. Next time we talk more about Maras. Right. Now Mara is working in your mind too. Mara is saying, late already, see the time now, must go back. And another Mara says, refreshment there, waiting. Another Mara says, late already, and tomorrow you have to work. And then see how the Mara says, hungry already, otherwise get gastric. All these things coming. See how Mara functions. But see them. But when we practice, we should not kill the Mara too much too, not prematurely, but little by little. We play with this Mara sometimes. Sometimes we give in little bit, then we see, oh, now you strong already, okay. So we have a game to play. We don't have to play that, that mahjong, that is another kind of game, that outside game. Now we have the inside game. Inside game we play. Now you take a little bit. It's like kite, like flying kite. You fly that one and then you take back a little bit. Then too tight, it dives down. Then you give in, then it goes up again. Until you become very skillful with it and you know this Mara very well. Then you know when it arises, you identify them. There you are, I know you. Immediately you see him, he goes hide and seek. He plays hide and seek with you, he runs away. Then through another sense organ, he says, okay, now let's hear some good sound. No? And then you don't want to hear this thing. Then he says, now, what about the food now? See how the Mara works through your eyes, through your ears, through your nose, through your tongue, the body and the mind. There are different kinds of Maras. There are these 5 kinds of Maras. Kanda Mara. Kanda, the aggregates Mara. Always want to cling to these aggregates. These are Maras. The death Mara, death. Machu Mara. Defilements Mara, Kilesa Mara. Then Devaputta Mara, real Mara. From the Deva, they are Devas. So these different kinds of Mara. So next time, learn more about Maras and see. Right. I think we shall conclude with just a few minutes of sitting, and then you can watch the Mara that comes up in your mind. Very little while you can watch it, you see. You see the Mara, the sloth and torpor in your mind. And then the craving, desire, anger, dissatisfaction, and you see how they work. You try to pacify them and try to keep them in control. By keeping your body in an upright position and just relax your body. Take a few deep breaths, breathe in and breathe out. Now as you breathe in, you may mentally note Bud. Breathing out, you can mentally note Do. Keep the Buddha, Buddha in your mind. As you breathe in and breathe out, breathe in with Bud. Breathe out, Do. Bud. Do. Bud. Do. Breathe in, breathe out, and just observe the breath. Focus your attention on the breath. When your mind is calm, then your verbalization of Buddha will just disappear in the background, and just observe your breath as you breathe in and breathe out.